Now, is this you here woefully short distance, and no matter how hard you try, you cannot create that easy club head speed like we can see here? Well, you're in luck, because I'm going to show you the 5 main reasons of why golfers cannot create that easy speed and a fix for each one of them. So this is going to massively help your ability to create that club head speed, hit longer drives without that much more effort. So the first reason of why you can't create that speed, and that is this here. So look at my stance width. Incredibly narrow. So many of you stand like this. So if you stand just at shoulder width with driver, or even inside that, what's happening in relationship to speed is you are now not going to be using the amount of musculature and strength that your legs can of course provide. Strongest muscles in the body. The narrower we are, the less stable our lower body is going to be, the less force it's going to be able to produce. The wider we are, of course we don't want to get too wide, but the wider we are, the more stable the lower body is going to be, and the more able it's going to be to produce force. So that's where for us, if I hit 2 shots here, I'm going to hit one with a narrow stance. The intent of my swing speed, so how hard or fast I go, will be the exact same. So here's the narrow one. So there we go. 99.5 miles an hour club head speed. So for me, roughly my normal club head speed is around 105. Now I am a professional, of course, yes, but I am a disabled golfer as well, so it's hard for me to generate speed. So this is why this is going to be a really impactful lesson, because I'm no athletic freak who can just swing at 120 like that, not at all. So what I'm doing here now on this one, wider stance. Intent of speed is going to be the exact same, and let's look at the difference. So okay, here we go. So tiny bit pulley, 105.7. So absolutely, you can see a huge difference there in club head speed. Again, wasn't trying to swing faster. It may have looked like I did, but that's because my legs were able to create more force. So widen that stance up for some easy speed. Now, the second reason of why you can't create speed is your narrow backswing. So as soon as you take the club back, the hands and arms are too close to your body. So that is going to create a very narrow backswing. And when we have a narrow backswing, we will not be able to pick up speed. What's going to happen? When we're narrow, we're going to have to get the club moving further away from us. So that means the fastest part of our swing will most normally be in transition. You'll quite often see guys with bent arm structure at the top as well. So what we want to do to be able to fix that, we need to be wide. So really get that distance between the club head and your body as wide as you can feel it. Not wide as in pushing it out. Still want it following the arc, but really away from us, because when we have that wide backswing, as wide as we physically can do, that's going to create some great distance between club and body. So then as we transition, we'll naturally get that lag. That club will naturally really pick up a ton of tension. And then as we're moving through the golf ball, it's easier then to get that speed building up towards impact. So same thing as just before. I'm going to hit 2 shots here. One with a narrow backswing, really pulled around. I'm going to show you a good feel for this as well. And I'm going to hit one with a wide. So again, shot intent with speed is going to be the same. But you're going to see 2 different club head speeds. So narrow, let's go. So really hard to feel like you're generating any speed when you do that. That was shorter than absolutely the narrow stance. So you can really see when we're narrow, it's a killer for distance. There's just so many golfers out there. They really do not have width at all. So here we go. Nice and wide here. So, okay, really getting that stretch, and I'll show you a good feel for this after this shot. Let's look at the difference. Again, a little bit pulley. I've got the pulley ones today. 104.1, absolutely great. So we can see big difference. Shot intent was the same, but we can see much difference in regards to club head speed. Now, our feel here for width is using your imagination a little bit here. So let's say, for example, I'm hitting the ball in that direction of the wall, which I won't do here. Tee to green and air shear, absolutely unbelievable TrackMan facility. So if I'm someone standing here, I want let's say the golfer who's hitting the ball in that direction to pass me the club and really feel like I'm up against a wall. Because if they're passing me that club, they're going to be getting wide in that takeaway. Because if we're getting wide in the takeaway, if we get good backswing rotation from there, which we're going to talk about in a minute, that's going to keep your width nicely. Get it wide early so you can maintain it wide. So imagine there's someone standing away from the target, preferably on your foot line, so you can keep the club on the arc. That's a nice feel. Again, Tubman's are tall players. They try to really feel this, getting as wide as they can. Xander Schauffele being one of them. Okay, so getting that club, feeling wide, like I'm passing it to someone. And there we go. Oh, that was lovely and straight. So the third reason of why golfers really struggle to create speed, and this is super common, this is probably all of you who are struggling to create that club head speed, and that is not completing your backswing rotation. So we see so many golfers have a very minimal rotation in the backswing because of a bit of a flawed concept. A lot of golfers are trying to turn just with their shoulders. You have to be super, super flexible to be able to do that. So when golfers are trying to, let's say, turn, but they can't, maybe because they're trying to turn with their shoulders, they will just lift up with their arms. And if you lift up with your arms, you're going to create no coil. We need coil, we need rotation in the backswing to be able to pick up speed. It is so, so incredibly important. So again, same thing here. We want to go and get that good turn. If we can coil up and rotate, that's going to give you so much more potential to create club head speed. Because like we said, if you are just trying to turn with your shoulders, let's say I try to do that, that's about as much as I can do. I've got terrible flexibility. Again, disabled golfer with cerebral palsy, I'm not flexible even remotely. So that's where, if you start to turn more with your lower body, get your hips turning, it's almost feeling like the back belt loops of your trousers are pointing just at the target or slightly left of it at the top of your swing, that's going to naturally get your shoulders turning as well. Your hips turn, your shoulders will turn with it. See there how my left heel lifts up to free up some turn? That's a good move. Think of a Jack Nicklaus, for example. But that's going to give you all that turn to be able to create that easy speed. So give you that completed turn. You've got to use your hip turn to be able to complete that turn there. Of course, if you're nice and wide with that, with a good wide stance, boom, you're going to be in a good spot. So here we go. Same thing again. 2 shots, one having not much turn, uncompleted turn, and one having a nice completed turn. Here we go, shot 1, let's have a look, no turn. So again, still try to give a normal shot intent. Ooh, that one's gone out towards the right. We can see club head speed again, under 100 miles an hour. Really, really difficult. So a golfer like that might be thinking they just generally can't create speed, for example. But if they looked and dived into their swing and saw they're just picking up their arms, they can't see any of their upper back, they can't see their pelvis turning from a face on camera, that means they're not getting rotation. But here's the thing, very feel versus real when it comes to backswing turn. Even on that one, I've just picked up the arms. It felt like I actually did a little bit of turn, but I didn't. So here we go. Getting that turn, I'm going to show you a great drill for this to get yourself turning. So here we go, nice full completed turn. Oh, that's nice. So we go, 106. This is a really, really big one for creating easy speed. So I've gone up a couple miles an hour there, 261 a carry, 281 total. And again, the shot intent of the speed I was trying to create felt the same, but some movements are more superior to others. So let's show you a drill. Okay, so here's our drill. Just grab an alignment stick and put the alignment stick through the belt loops of your trousers. So we put it to where there's just a tiny bit coming out on the right and a lot on the left. So our whole goal with this is to get the hips turning. Like we said, if your hips are turning, your upper body will turn as well. It's the easiest way for golfers, no matter their age, to get turn. Shoulders are only, if you're just trying to get turn with your shoulders, is only for the flexible and athletic can do that. Not me, and that's most likely not a lot of people out there. So, okay, so what I want to do, I want to get this stick after my takeaway, because a good hip sequencing means your hips are fairly quiet in the takeaway and then they turn up from there. So I'm wanting to get this stick going roughly around to halfway to the ball from where it was at setup, or even better, to the ball would be very, very good. So what that's doing, that is getting you a nice completed turn. You're just seeing that visual of that stick going towards that ball. So what I'd recommend, try to do that a little bit slowly. I know our goal here is to create more club head speed, but if we really don't do this movement, we really need to drill it in. So I'm just gonna get this stick going halfway to the golf ball. I'm gonna actually do it what feels like a slower swing than I've already done. So it'll be really interesting to see what that club head speed's doing, just so I know I'm getting the movement, and then I can ramp it up with speed once I feel more comfortable. Let's give it a go. Felt a little bit pulley. Body quit turning on that. Because of the slow nature of it, I need to always feel quite a whippy turn through the golf ball to keep that ball straight. But we could see 106 again with one that didn't feel that fast. So absolutely brilliant. I recommend every one of you to do that drill. Now the fourth reason here, and that is golfers being too active with their chest early in the downswing. So when you're starting that downswing, if you're trying to create that speed, a lot of golfers will just quickly move with their chest and rotate it really fast. So what that's generally going to do for golfers, that's going to, one, get them swinging way out to win, over the top move, but all their speed is going to be at that first movement in the downswing. Where what we want to do, we want to keep that chest more quiet as we start that downswing. So as we are getting that first start here, I want you to feel like your chest is really not having rotation to it. Then through the ball, you can then have that whip of turn. So again, I'm going to show you a great feel for this, really simple feel. So again, I'm going to hit 2 ones here, one with lots of chest rotation. I can guarantee with my tendency to get the face going left, absolutely, as you can see on that one, this ball is going to go left on me. So, okay, really big chest rotation to start off with. So this is where I could create some okay speed. As you can see, that is the fastest one yet for a bad move. But you can see the accuracy part of this is just unusable. So that's where this is really, really not a good one on so many areas to do. So a lot of golfers do this, for example, who really flare the club face open early. They have to then throw themselves over the top to make the club face path work nicely. There is a link in the description for the ultimate guide to the over the top, to fix your over the top downswing, which is out there on Skillist, full video course teaching you all the root causes, all the effects and how to apply it to your swing. So if you really want to fix your over the top, there is help there. But absolutely, let's have one here, keeping the chest quiet as we are starting the downswing. So quiet with its rotation. Let's give it a go. That felt lovely. Woo. That is a nice tight little draw. That will not do you any harm at all. So 105, which is my normal, 261 and 285 as well. So here's the funny thing about this, guys. Even though I've been saying, I've been feeling like the 2 shots that we've been demonstrating here are the same intent in speed. Yes, they were the same intent, but that first one felt way faster because that feeling in transition is where you'd start to feel more of your speed. You won't really feel your speed too much going through the golf ball. All the best long drive pros always say their fastest swings don't necessarily feel fast. But because this is moving you in good sequence, getting that good rotational sequence, it generally doesn't feel like you're swinging that much. Okay, so here is a great feel to do for this. So if we can, as we're starting the downswing, get the middle of our chest right here to point at you for as long as you can. So my PXG logo, or you can even think of, let's say, my microphone here. Let's say you're wearing just a golf polo, you're somewhere nice and warm. Just absolutely think of those buttons on the polo shirt and feel like, let's say, a playing partner is standing behind you. It's pointing at them for as long as you can. Now that will, for most of you golfers who suffer with this, through the golf ball, you will still get that whip through the shot. So middle of the chest, let's say buttons on a polo shirt pointing away from the target, someone standing behind you for as long as you can. That is a brilliant feel to have to calm down that chest rotation. Let's give it a go. Lovely. So that one actually hit a little bit off the bottom of the face there. I don't think it picked up my club head speed. But for a bottom of the face shot, and slightly necky as well, if that's going to carry 250, we know that was actually probably a fairly fast swing. Okay, this next one here, the 5th and final one I see so often. It's very rare I see golfers do this properly, and it's easy to do. Creates a lot of speed through the golf ball. And that is where what golfers are doing wrong. They're moving through the golf ball with a very bent left knee. So if my left knee is very bent, a few things are going to happen. I'm not going to be able to create any speed going through the golf ball because I'm not going to be able to rotate and extend. So what we want to do, which will explain why, of course, you want to fix it, is if I am straightening my left leg going through the golf ball, getting into some extension here, so really around the hitting area, getting it to snap straight. What that's doing, that's giving me the last little bit of hip rotation. You can see there if I'm snapping my left leg straight, see how it turns me? So it gives me that last little bit of rotation through the golf ball, continuing to clear the hips through the downswing. But also, when we're swinging in the downswing, we're putting force into the ground. Just like if you were going to jump up high in the air, you're going to lower down, of course you are. Now we have a little movement, the little squat move in the golf swing. Even if the squat doesn't look that much, it's still there. But like with vertical jumping, we're only going to, let's say, jump high if we actually physically extend and jump. That's the same thing here. So that's where we're only going to get that power that we put into the ground, out of the ground, and create club head speed if we get that lead side extending. Getting that extension in there. If we're keeping the left leg bent, we're not getting any of that ground force, any of that vertical force. We call them vertical force is the fastest speed producer. So really, really important one here. So I've got a brilliant drill to do for this for you guys. It gives you a great, great feel. So here we go, 2 shots again. Left knee as bent as it's going to be through the golf ball. Again, still the same intent in speed, but it's not going to be the same club head speed, I can tell you that. So keeping the left leg bent. So it makes you feel quite, let's say, stuck, not stuck in the swing path sense, even though it would generally look like that from that shot, but stuck as in body movement, feels very sluggish. It doesn't feel like you can really turn. So for me, I actually felt a little bit back here, high hands. That's where the ball's gone to the right, absolutely. So, okie dokie, so let's go. This shot here, snapping the left leg straight. That's going to keep the body turning through the shot. That's going to spike up that vertical force. So we see all the longest drivers in the world do this. Most of you might be thinking, do I need my knees to be feeling good to be able to do this? I've got bad knees. It will not be damaging. It wouldn't even remotely be damaging to your left knee. If you were applying tons and tons of force, high club head speed, maybe, but it'll be a little bit safer on the knees more than anything because it'll be giving them a little bit of a break going through the shot. So straightening that leg, coming through impact. Let's have a look here. Oh, that felt nice. Tiny bit pulley again. But you can see the force that it created, that I fell a little bit backwards. Very normal for me with my disability to not keep my balance, but just that little bit extra pushed me that little bit back. That's why you see a lot of the long drive guys do that, going through the golf ball, they're spiking their vertical force. Let's get to a drill for it. So a drill for this, just grab an alignment stick, and what you want to do with the alignment stick, you want to place it on the ground just around your foot line. So your line of your toes, you put it a foot or so behind that lead foot. And what we want to do here, we want to get this stick elevating into the air, but we just want to do that via straightening the left side. So this is where it has good upward angle of attack benefits as well, because you're going to see that motion, just doing that is going to elevate the stick into the air around the driver ball position. It gives you that nice whip so you can really hear the speed it creates going through the ball. So if you get a bunch of those, you're going to feel a little bit of a burn in your left side. It's good, it's telling you you're really activating it. So let's say I've got a bunch of those in, and then we go to the shot, feel that exact same thing, and let's see if we can get, let's say, a good fast one here without effort. So that same feel from the drill, let's give it a go. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, nice little, just slight fade on it. 105 pretty much. Maybe I'm a bit tired, maybe, but absolutely nicely in the fairway, great distance, not going to do any harm at a normal length golf course. We're all good. So, okay, do these 5, or avoid, let's say, these 5 mistakes and replace it with the good move here. So you might not be all of these. You might be absolutely 1 or 2 of them. That's why it's good to know your swing. If you want to know exactly what to work on, there is a link in the description for online lessons, one-to-one lessons with myself. What you need to do is send through some videos of your swing. I'll analyze them and I'll get you some really good drills to do as well in that lesson. So completely personalized for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button if you want more golf instruction, just like this. Hit the subscribe button and hit that bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.